Hello everybody, welcome back to Ross IELTS Academy, our special speaking game. We're now involved in part 2. I'm Samson Sees, and this is...
Mehnush Hafi from Ross IELTS Academy.
We're having a very good time playing this game, but I have to say in the previous video, we started going off with these part 2 cue cards, and I found that quite challenging, to be honest with you.
It is challenging.
Dear candidates, I fully understand what you guys are going through.
It is really hard. Sometimes it's stressful.
It's such a challenge. And
yeah.
Thinking about the 2 minutes that you have to talk. But don't worry, the techniques that we're going through and we're trying to advise you guys to do, it really does help in just getting through it and making it easier.
It's fun and useful at the same time, so you shouldn't just miss these videos. And also you may want to watch our previous videos, like we have 3 videos in part 1, playing the game of part 1 questions, and then another video in part 2, the cue card game.
That's right.
Which Samson seems to
As a native speaker, I was challenged, but yeah, it is a lot of fun.
Yes, it is. And now this is our second video on cue cards game, so you may want to just watch those videos first and then come back to us to go on with the game. So
just before we resume the games, remember guys, like, subscribe, get involved, because not only is all of this fun, you guys will also learn a lot of tips and techniques.
Yeah.
Shall we get started?
But before we get started...
Oh, her special tips.
I always have tips, right?
Mehnush always has tips. All right, tell me.
Yeah. You should know some things about the second part in IELTS speaking. The first thing is that this part is not going to be long. So, as you may remember, part 1 took us like between 4 to 5 minutes, but this part is like...
It's only 3 minutes altogether.
2 to 3 minutes, so it's not longer than that.
1 minute for making notes and then 2 minutes for speaking about the topic.
So the examiner will give you a paper and a pencil, and you can just have your cue card with some bullet points. You can think about the topic and make notes for 1 minute, and then you should talk about the topic for...
up to 2 minutes, no less than 2 minutes, guys.
Cover your 2 minutes, cover all the bullet points, sound natural, be confident, and use a range of structures and vocabulary, but it's not complicated at all.
You can lie, you can go off topic if you have to, just address the question.
We are going to do all these things, apply the techniques, and you'll learn how to do that.
We sure will. All right, let's get started. I can't wait.
Okay, do you want to go first?
If I have to, if I must. It's usually ladies first, but Mehnush implies that...
You can go first this time.
I'm going to go first this time. All right, I'm going to randomly pick one of these envelopes. Got one. Okay. What do we have here? Okay, do you want to read that out?
Okay, yep.
I think it's my topic.
Yes, describe a school which you went to. Would you like to talk about it, Samson?
Yes, okay, I'll talk about it.
Okay, so here is your cue card.
Thank you very much.
And you have some bullet points on the other side.
All right.
You will have a paper here.
Thank you very much.
You can take notes. Here you are. I have my paper because I want to analyze what he does. And as you guys might remember, there is one rule to this game. But as you may remember, there is one rule to this game. And what was the rule, Samson?
Oh yes, I forgot the rules of this game. I just remembered. Thanks for reminding me. If I skip a topic and reject it, Mehnush will give me a penalty, a forfeit. So that would be a personal question or something else I'm not familiar with.
But he didn't give me the chance to ask him that personal question.
I don't like it.
Yeah, you might have commented so many personal questions that you would like him to ask me, you would like me to ask him, but yeah, I didn't get the chance.
Maybe got the chance.
Maybe
next time.
So yeah, we can just start with the test. You will have now 1 minute to think about the topic, make notes, and after that you should talk about the topic for 2 minutes.
Okay, I'll be doing the 2 minutes for speaking. Just work with me here, get a pencil, a pen and paper, whatever.
Yes,
make
you
notes.
should have your own paper.
Good practice.
And try to take the test with us. I mean,
take it with us.
It can really help you.
It does help.
Okay, so your 1 minute starts right now. Okay, your 1 minute is over, Samson.
Oh, wow, okay.
You can now give me the pen, thank you, and the cue card, because you cannot have it now. But you can take, just keep your points or the notes. And yeah, you should talk about the topic now for 2 minutes. Your 2 minutes start right now.
Okay, so I was asked about a school that I went to when I was a child. I'm going to pick my secondary school because I've got a lot to say about the secondary school I went to. It was called Southgate School. It wasn't too far from my parents' house, or our house anyway. And I used to walk to school all the time because I enjoyed the exercise. So when did I go to this school? It was back in 1997, if I remember correctly. I was about 11 years old. I personally picked this school. That's what students do in the UK. You go and visit different secondary schools, and the one that seems most fitting is the one that you choose to go to. But of course, it was very difficult to get into this school because it wasn't right by our house, so it wasn't actually in the same borough. But anyway, I still got into this school, and I was very proud to go there because I very much liked the subjects and all the facilities, particularly the drama room, the music rooms, and all the pianos, as I play piano personally. I've been playing since I was a small boy. I went to this school for about 6 years, if I remember correctly, and I stayed there to study at the college section. We call that sixth form. I very much liked the teachers at Southgate School and all the subjects that I took, particularly theatre studies and media studies. And I loved the facilities, but the one thing I did not like about it was the pupils, sadly enough, because lots of them were bullies. There were about 1,500 pupils going to this huge school, if I remember correctly. And lots of them were bullies. They were very rude. They could be racist at some points. But I had to deal with these problems, and I had to deal with a lot of beat-ups too. I was beaten up many, many times, on many, many days. In fact, there were many occasions where
Okay, thank you very much. Great.
Oh, 2 minutes is over already? Gosh, I've got so much to say about that.
You were just talking about your past experiences.
I was.
Yes.
I was. That's something you guys could do, actually. If you can relate the topic, whatever you're given on the cue card, relate it to a past experience and just follow the bullet points, and I think you can just
even if you haven't had that experience, you can just fake it.
You can fake it.
For example, your friend has had a good experience, which is related to this cue card. You can talk about your friend's experience.
That's right. I did follow the bullet points of how many students did go to the school. I don't know if there were really 1,500 kids there. I just made a number.
How could you know?
How could I know? I was a kid back then. I was
and it's not important to me as an examiner, because I don't really care how many students went to that school, or I'm not going to go check if that's the correct number.
It's not a matter of being true or false. The examiner basically wants to mark you down for the 4 criteria.
Yeah, that's what we mean by not being truthful or just fake some answers, because his answer was relevant and he explained, he gave examples, so that was good.
And I try to make it interesting. That's another point, I think. It's good to keep your topic interesting. If you do that, then you have more of a chance of getting through this part in a much more soothing way. Okay.
Yeah, you can just make a good impression on the examiner. That's what Samson was trying to do. You shouldn't be like monotone and not having any eye contact with the examiner, or no body language, facial expressions. These are not part of the criteria in IELTS speaking. It helps. It does help.
Yeah. Okay. So, do you want to go next?
I actually have something to tell you, Samson.
You do have something to tell me?
Everything was wonderful.
Okay.
Like, you used complex structures, you used a very good range of vocabulary, and some discourse markers, some paraphrasing. Like, instead of a student, you said pupil, or you had a very good use of different tenses, simple past, or like you used to.
I thought I'd get creative a little bit. If you're comfortable with the creative structures, then just go for it. If you're not, then try to tone it down, I guess.
Yes, because Samson was quite sure about what he wanted to use. He was certain what vocabulary he wanted to use, what grammatical structure.
That's right.
But you don't need to talk like us, okay?
No.
You don't need to be perfect. You should just cover, you should just give an answer.
So don't memorize stuff. Do something
they
that makes...
don't all need a 9 in IELTS speaking,
No one needs
right?
exactly. Not everybody needs a 9, and also do something that feels natural. Because if you don't copy what we're doing, take the necessary techniques that you could use. If you copy and memorize stuff, then you might sound unnatural.
The examiner will know.
Yeah, the examiner will know. The examiner will know.
And you didn't cover the bullet points in order.
No.
It was not in order, but he managed to cover them all. And that will do.
That will do.
Yeah. And there is just one thing I should tell you. You're a native speaker. You know how to manage different topics, familiar or unfamiliar. But in my idea, you spoke a bit fast. Too fast.
It's too fast. Oh,
you shouldn't be very fast or very slow. Just...
See, I had a lot to say. So if you think you need to concentrate a little bit more on your structures, then take it slower. No, she's right. I did go a little bit fast there, but
he managed to do that. But many of our candidates might not.
Some do, but not everybody. So just take it easy and tone it down. Slow down a little bit, because you're less likely to make mistakes if you're speaking a little bit slower and more controlled, but not too slow, because your intonation still has to be pretty much sounding natural.
That's right. Intonation, pronunciation matters. Accent?
Accent, yeah, that's a very interesting point. Accent doesn't matter. Your accent is unique. What does matter is that you pronounce the words correctly, right?
That's important.
That is important.
So yeah, that's all I can say.
Cool.
Right.
I think I'm going to give you a turn now.
Okay, so should I pick a topic now?
Go ahead, pick a topic.
Okay, let's see. I think we have 3 cue cards here now.
Oh, I'm not sure how many we have in there, but pick one. Just pick one.
Yeah, I can touch, I can feel.
You've got an envelope. You got one.
Okay.
Okay, shall I read it out to you?
Yeah,
okay,
sure.
Here we go. So, describe a special occasion where you had a really enjoyable meal. Yum, yum. All right.
It's yum, yum, exactly. I want to talk about it.
If I were in your shoes, I would talk about it as well. So
okay.
There's your bullet points.
So here I have this one. Can I have your paper, please?
You can have my paper.
Thank
Go
you.
ahead, take it away.
So we have some new papers now.
That's a very interesting topic, guys. It's about food.
It is, yeah.
So grab a pen and paper and make points, make little bullet points yourself, little notes of things you might like to say about such a topic.
So you can just take the test with us right
Why
now.
not? Okay, take it with us, and maybe you'd like to book a mock test at some point.
Oh, great. That would
that would be
really
fun.
help you.
It would really help you, and we'll give you all the necessary feedback afterwards. And
how to boost your score, the
that's
techniques.
Right. Boosting your band score. Absolutely.
Okay,
all right,
so
start. Menush has 1 minute to make notes. You may start making notes now.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Okay, your time is up.
Okay.
So, may I have the pen and
sure.
the cue card?
Yeah.
It has to be fair. We're playing this game fairly.
Okay.
So I'm going to take this away from you. All right, you may start speaking now.
Okay. If I were to talk about a very fun and interesting meal I have had, I would like to talk about a family reunion we had about 4 months ago, I guess. A couple of family members, a couple of my family members gathered together to have a meal together. It was a dinner, as I remember. And in the family reunion, we had my parents, my grandparents, my uncle, and also my sister. We were together because we wanted to just spend some quality time together. And as I remember, we were talking about different issues, and my uncle felt a bit down and disappointed due to the fact that he had decided to change his job. He was considering a career change, and he was not really satisfied with his manual job. And that was also something which had made him a bit confused and frustrated. So we decided to just have the meal together, and since I knew that my uncle enjoys cooking very much, I recommended him to join me in the kitchen. So we decided to make some pizzas for 10 people, and in addition to that, we had some French fries. It took us a couple of hours to make the food, and I would say that was a really interesting meal we had together, because we had a lot of laughter, and at times we had tears coming out of our eyes. So generally that was wonderful.
It. That's the 2 minutes up. See, the examiner stops you when the time is over. That's how it goes. But that's very important to talk for the 2 minutes. Very well done.
Yeah, I was really distracted.
Why were you distracted?
Because I think my mind is not focused now. I might be a bit tired.
Aww.
But I was just trying to cover the bullet points.
She was improvising. See, she did cover the bullet points, managed. And she was covering topics that were in relation to some of those bullet points. And that allowed her to continue with her flow of conversation. It was a very good idea.
Yes, yes. Like for the first minutes, the 1 minute, I didn't really know what I wanted to say.
Right.
And because of that, I was speaking a bit slower. But after that, when I came up with some ideas, I just changed my pace.
So yeah, Menush was basically pacing herself to come up with the ideas, and she was. It's very good to do that. You paraphrase, and then it gives you a little bit of time to think about what you're going to say, and then Menush went into her story. So when you go into your story, then you're more or less good to go when it's something that you are familiar with. So she covered the bullet points very well, and she had a few pauses, but that's okay. The one or two ums and ahs and pauses. Particularly with Menush just there, it's more, idea related. She was thinking about, her next sentence and the next part of the story. It wasn't language related.
Yeah, and it's really good to use a good range of vocabulary.
Which is what she was doing, actually.
Yeah, but I couldn't come up with good vocabulary related to this topic.
I think you did.
But I did something, a technique that we always recommend our students to do. I could just remember some good collocations and words related to work. So I used 2 or 3 of them.
I noticed you did that. I actually got that down here. It was actually very good. It was complex. It wasn't particularly related to the actual topic on the cue card.
Considering a career change, a manual job, and how he was feeling disappointed, frustrated, he was down. Yep. Right,
but she related it to the characters in the main topic. So it's sort of branched off, but it was still somehow related.
Yeah, I just wanted to show you that I can
use this range of
vocabulary.
And it sounded interesting. That's a very important point. When you sound interesting and you're going into more storytelling mode, it helps your intonation and also pronunciation too, because everything just comes out a lot more clearly, in my opinion.
Yes, yes. So it happens to us too. Like you might feel confused, distracted, or stressed. It happens to all of us. It happens to examiner, everyone. So
just stay focused and make sure you speak up. See, when we're doing this, playing this game, I'm trying to speak as clearly and loudly as possible because that reduces the stress level. It's actually a proven fact.
Yeah, so, and it doesn't matter if the examiner is writing down some stuff, or he doesn't look at you, or he just looks at the wall maybe. It doesn't matter.
Think about your story. Don't look about what the examiner could be writing down, and don't think about the time, because that's going to distract you even more. So just think about your story, think about your off-topic if you have one, or different ideas, or maybe a lie, because that really does help. So guys, remember, like, subscribe, and write in the comments section what you think of this little game we're playing.
Yes, and you may even want to visit our website and enroll in our terrific courses.
Terrific packages we
Yes,
have for you, don't
bronze, silver, and VIP courses. They will really help you with your IELTS
we? They'll give you a
exam.
huge boost, especially in your band score, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
that's right.
It's proven as well. All right, hopefully we'll see you on the next video and
Yes.
still play some more games. Bye-bye, everyone.
See you in the next video.